Perfect.
Welcome into tipsgamers.com. In today's video, we're going to be showing you guys our practice squad signing method and how it applies to Madden 22. We'll give you guys as much info. A lot of you guys have seen our methods before. Likelihood you guys have seen this, and we'll show you how exactly it works in this Madden. Not much has changed, but what you're going to be able to do is you're going to be able to get guys like Trevor Lawrence, who is now an X factor in our league. He's probably got a lot of upgrade points too, which he does. And you're going to be able to sign him to a 7-year deal for $3.85 million. You'll be able to take, like, Jonathan Taylor, signed him to a 7-year deal for $3.85 million. We ended up signing Parsons to a 7-year deal for $3.85 million. Anyone can do this. You don't have to be league commissioner. Okay. Mullen, Henderson, and then Okuda, we're going to end up doing it for him as well before he turns into a 3-year pro. Now, make sure, guys, if you guys like our content, to share and like our videos. Make sure to comment down below, hit that notification bell, and subscribe, obviously. And then visit our website at tipsgamers.com. It'll be in the link in the description below.
This is going to be so much fun.
So let's break down the practice squad signing method. Now, this method is a method that is going to keep making you more money as the years progress. Okay, and you're going to be able to do this with guys you trade for. You're going to be able to do this with guys that you drafted. You're going to be able to do this with so many talented guys. It's absolutely ridiculous. So like we mentioned previously, trading with any form of contracts whatsoever, not just the practice squad signing method, but just in general terms, trading for players gives you huge opportunity to reset their contract, negotiate while they're young, and to really take advantage of the low overall due to the fact they haven't had much experience.
It's not your fault. Don't fuck with me.
That's the way it works. So Mullen we traded for, and you could see here the penalty is 0, and that's because when you trade for a player, the team that traded away the player who signed the contract pays off the signing bonus. So all we owe them is $1.15 million right now, is all we owe Trayvon Mullen. That's it. We go to CJ Henderson, we owe him 0. Most of his money was guaranteed, and that's basically what we owe him here. And let's go to Jeff Okuda here, 0 across the board. So really good cornerbacks that have good developments, that are going to be good when we put them in the system, and we're going to be able to sign them incredibly cheap deals.
Hey, you want to eat at the Happy Palace?
How about a hot dog?
Now, this is going to fit perfectly with the practice squad signing method, but this, even if you can't do the practice squad signing method in your league, this is the next best thing. At least you can cut these guys and you could reset their contract and then negotiate with it, even if you're not doing the practice squad signing method. So let's break down first how the practice squad signing method actually works. Now, the first thing that you want to do is you want to make sure your practice squad is empty. Okay, because a lot of people have issues with this. If you advance to week 1, the CPU is going to fill up your practice squad. So you'll have to make sure before you start doing this that your practice squad is empty. Okay, so all I'm going to do here is I'll take like Trayvon Mullen. Now, the requirements to be on the practice squad is you have to be a 2-year pro or less. If you get a 3-year pro, it's not going to work. So what I would do here is I would move him to the practice squad. You guys have seen this previously. And then from here, I would sign him from the practice squad. And that's basically like resetting his contract at this moment in time. You can see his price went from 0 or whatever it was before, $1.15 million to $3.11 million. Still no penalty whatsoever. And the same thing goes here. He's probably going to end up being around the same. And if you don't have practice squad, stealing on, you can turn that on and be just fine. However, and if the guy disappears like this, you see him disappear, all he is he's just on the practice squad. And then you can grab him from here, scroll over there, sign him to the practice squad. Okay. Now, if you're doing this with the SAR, this is a very important step to do that we're going to show you next. But before we jump into the SAR, working this with the SAR, which is absolutely huge, I want to break down the philosophy of how you should do this with other players. The big thing you want to think about in this is overall does not matter. Okay, you do not have to worry about overall in this. So a player getting good is not going to make a difference. The real aspect you want to worry about is if he is a 2-year pro or less. That is it. So let's get into if you draft a player. Now, how should this work and how should you go about doing this? For example, Kyle Pitts. Kyle Pitts is very, very talented, right? I think they kind of screwed him on his agility here because this is really hot garbage. But aside from that, Kyle Pitts is going to be a very good tight end. So when you see someone like this, right, you get him onto your team, you drafted him high, you owe him $21.3 million, it's not worth doing it for him. Like we mentioned before, overall is not the problem. This is not going to stop working if your guy is a 99 overall. So if Kyle Pitts gets to a 99 overall, who cares? The big thing you want to think about here is I don't want to release him because that's technically what you're doing. When you sign a guy from your team to practice squad, I'm going to eat that $21.3 million, and then I'm going to have to sign him from the practice squad, which is basically a free agency contract. And then what's going to happen there is I'm going to not only eat that $21.3 million, I'm going to have to eat the new contract as well on top of it. So a guy like Kyle Pitts, it's not worth doing it for him. When he turns to a 2-year pro, that is when it was worth doing because you'll have 2 years where you can knock this contract down, and then it'll be worth doing it because you only have one opportunity to make the practice squad signing method work, and that's when he's a 2-year pro or less. So when he gets to that point and that's your last opportunity, then you say, okay, I owe him maybe $11 million or what have you. Okay, I'm going to do it then because he's getting very, very good. This also gives you a buffer as well. If let's say Kyle Pitts somehow, which is very unlikely, ends up not being as good, you may say, hey, I'll do this for him, but then I'm going to trade him away. Or I'll just trade him away instead.
Did you trash my office?
Trade me.
Something like that. But this gives you an opportunity to pay off some of this contract, wait 2 years, and then do it. Now let's talk about if you guys got done watching our SAR video, our magic trade sheet video. The link will be in the description below. And you get guys released like Trevor Lawrence, first overall pick, and plenty of other guys that we did this for. But let's say Trevor Lawrence here. The big thing that you want to do here is you do not want to sign to the active roster first. Okay, when these guys are on free agency, when you did the SAR or what have you, you do not want to sign to the active roster. I cannot stress this enough because you guys are going to pay double and you'll go broke, and it'll be for no reason at all. Okay, you want to sign to the practice squad first. Okay, so you sign them to the practice squad, and then you can go down and from here you sign them to the active roster. Okay, so do this with all the guys that you did the SAR with. Do not screw up and do it with the wrong guys. I got one more guy too. I got Parsons. Okay, so Parsons is a beast. Same thing here. Sign them to the practice squad, and then from the practice squad, let's say on practice squad, I'm going to grab him and then sign him to the active deal. Now, I also did this with Jonathan Taylor as well, and there's so many other guys you can do this with. It is crazy how many guys you can do this with. Now, once you do this, you have complete control to start these guys, and you have complete control to be able to upgrade these guys as well. Upgrading these players is not going to affect this whatsoever. You're going to still be able to do this. Just make sure the guys that you're doing this for, put them in a starting role so they get as much XP as possible, and don't hesitate to use that XP on them. It's not going to affect this. Now, throughout the season, what you're going to see too is these guys will not be on the re-signed players. So they'll be nowhere to be found on the re-signed players, which doesn't matter. You do not have to be worried at all. Now, at the very end of the year is when you're going to be able to do this. Okay, so you can see here the Super Bowl was already played. The Tennessee Titans lost to the Seahawks. And now we're in the new offseason week 1, which is staff week. Okay, and this is new. So what you want to be is you want to be in the next week, which is the re-signed players. Okay, so that's where it'll be. Nothing's really changed besides that. So what we'll see here is we'll see players ready to negotiate, and this is where all the magic happens, which is absolutely amazing. So it says last chance here. He wants $34 million, which is just so much compared to what I'd rather pay.
I'm ready to go in, coach. Just give me a chance.
And of course, that sounds ridiculous because of course you're worth it, Taylor. There's no question about it. Now, I haven't even upgraded these guys, but it doesn't matter. I'm going to offer them a 7-year deal, $550,000, 0 signing bonus. Let's go with this. And you're going to see this offer is perfect. I can't wait until next year. A little bit ridiculous. Let's go with Trevor Lawrence, who's an X factor now. You know, if this will work with him, it'll work with anybody. And that's what I'd rather pay completely for this guy, even though he's amazing. And he has a very high likelihood of being, you know, the next beast mode out there. And we'll see here. Does he accept it? Such a great offer. I don't actually think he would accept that in real life. Maybe he's just that good of a guy. I don't know. But as you can see there, I don't need to continue because these guys, you're going to be able to do with every single one of these guys that you did this with. So Parsons, CJ Henderson, Okuda's probably... wherever the hell Akuda is. Maybe I already did it for him. Either way, it doesn't matter, guys. If you guys like this video, make sure to hit that like button, subscribe, and click the notification bell. Go to our website at tipstergamers.com. It'll be in the link in the description below. And we'll see you in the next one, guys. Take it easy.